Hey, this is Notser, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Tier 9 Italian destroyer, Adriatico. Now, this ship is going to be available in 11.2 in a random container bundle for 1,000 doubloons. So you can get this in one of 60 chances for all the different reward, but 1 in 60. Yeah, very low chance. So buy at your own risk, but the gameplay is pretty outstanding. So let's talk about that. Now, for the build, main armament mod 1, extended engine boost duration, aiming system mod 1, propulsion, concealment, rate of fire. For the commander, incoming fire alert, last stand, survivability expert, concealment, radiolocation, adrenaline rush, superintendent, preventive maintenance. Now, I don't necessarily think that I should recommend it, but this is what I used in this game. So at this point, this line is very different from anything else in the game, but it's very exciting because it's very fun to play, and I think that everyone will enjoy it. But the strategy that I employ in this game is after about 15 games total playing Italian DDs. I just don't have the time off stream, and I can't play them on stream, so they never get played. But initially using engine boost, rushing to the closest objective, and forcing your way on the objective with exhaust smoke and torpedoes sent at sort of the closest rated location is incredibly great for just forcing the tempo in your favor. I mean, and I could have been baited to fire, but I know for a fact that this guy is right there. But I am just hoping that he's just going to be cautious enough that he's not going to go for it. But yep, sure enough, he's right there. And we open up with our sap shell, which is very devastating. It is the iconic armament of the Italian, and it's wonderful, and it continues with the Italian DDs. And obviously we scare him away, and we capture the base actually. So we basically took that right in front of him, and the reason why he wasn't closer is if he was any closer to me, he would have died, because he would have gotten out. We would have done even more damage. So he was barely saved by the position that he took up, and that's fine. But we are able to quickly move to another part of the map. The Italian destroyer is quick. It does not have good acceleration though, but its top speed is very high. And then couple that with emergency engine power, it gets around very quickly. But as you can see, high explosive and sap are the two main armaments. It has long-range torpedoes, a iconic exhaust smoke, which is instant smoke, so rogue-ish, I would describe these guys as. And then a emergency engine boost, which is short duration but high impact. This design is familiar to those who own the Palo Emilio, and I'm happy to announce that you can continue that playstyle very, very confidently over here as well. If you've fallen in love with that YOLO Emilio, you can YOLO through the entire line and enjoy it very much. And it plays very well. I've tried 3 different builds: gunboat, assassin, and torpedo. Assassin and torpedo were very fun. They work similar to the Palo Emilio. You use a combination of your smoke, speed boost, sap, and torpedoes. And I guess HE. You basically use a combination of your tools that are available, but it's a very satisfying, short, very high spike and alpha combo where you do sap, torpedoes, exhaust smoke, engine boost, in some type of order so that you can rush down a target that unsuspectingly moves into your effective range. It's very satisfying if you've never played the Palo Emilio, but I'm sure you've seen it either on my channel or Twitch or even just in games. It's very satisfying when the combo works, and there's absolutely no reason why you can't try and make the combo work on these guys, and it's very fun. But I will also say the gun range is a problem. It requires a lot of skill to be safe enough that you are obviously not killing yourself by being inside of radar range, but you actually have to be inside of your gun range to do damage, right? So that's the catch, right? You can't always be safe. You have to rely on using the intelligence of the minimap, looking around, understanding where the potential threat could actually come from, and taking advantage of sight lines. And the lack of range can actually be an advantage in some situations, because what it can do is it can enable you to be like a lightning strike. You can rush in quickly, kill the DD, the opposing DD that may or may not be contesting an objective, and because of the distance that he has traveled to you, and you have traveled to him, and most of his teammates, especially if they're playing like a long-range meta, they won't be close enough that once you have destroyed one target, you will not be spotted. So you're even more incentivized to kill the target quickly, because the same benefit applies. You will drop off of detection. So you can imagine that players might eventually evolve to never take concealment and maybe take brawl and go gun and, switch. For example, I kind of feel like I don't need superintendent, but look at how fast these games are already working in our favor. I have to tell you guys, there's not a lot of late games in the Italian DD. You either crush it for your team and they ride the wave, or even if you try hard, your team gets wiped out so fast that eventually you just go down to damage because you just don't have the amount of health that you need under concentrated fire. That's one of the nice things about DDs. When the game's over, but they do impact the game a lot. And that is so true about this Italian DD line. Adriatico is really fun to play. Obviously, we kind of rushed that guy, got into a great position, and used our high explosive when he was angled too harshly. But immediately switching back to SAP, and look at what we've got here. The Ohio. He's pretty close, and exhaust smoke is available. So with it available, we've got radio location. We can make that Paulo Emilio play and really enjoy it. And this is the most satisfying part of playing any Italian DD, I believe, and it will be. I'm glad that he didn't die to me, but I wanted him dead because there's been way too many times when I've seen a guy just live. Now, we made a mistake. We sailed around while being detected. We took a big shot from the Ohio, but we had health to give, so that's the only saving grace there. But it did create a situation that is a learning experience, and one that just makes it so appealing because it's so satisfying. So I rushed him, forced him back. He's seen the Paulo Emilio, he knows that story. So he sailed back, but what he probably didn't expect is I have long-range torpedoes, and once he's outside of my bloom range, I actually can use SAP too, while in smoke. So every second counts and every damage counts. Very satisfying. That's just a play that you just couldn't do, and would normally have been perfect play by the Ohio. Turn and run. And honestly, that would be my recommendation, and has been, and looky there. The only way you can really play that better is if you were to maybe take one torpedo and just allow the spread to be that one torpedo. But he was obviously dealing with multiple enemies from different angles. He's just trying to survive. But it's an interesting entire line, right? This is it. This is so cool as a player. And yeah, I'm talking about just how much I'm enjoying it. But it's great. It really is so satisfying to have a combo work so well and to be so consistent and, oh, I don't know, be something that isn't based on random chance. Wow, it's so satisfying. Now, admittedly, you could have radar as an opposing ship, like a Ragnar, or a Des Moines, or a Petro, or you could have a Hydro, like a 52, or a 46, or a Groningen, or, you know, like, even a Daring in some ways. Admittedly, I don't know that I would get that close to really be affected so much, but there are definitely lines in the game that work against this very well. The German battleships just laugh at this, right? That, what are you doing, man? You're going to die. That's pretty much what they do to the Paulo Emilio when they try the rush down. So, yes, this may look so strong in so many different situations. And yeah, in those situations, it feels as good as it looks, man. It has weaknesses. And those weaknesses, you need to exploit, guys. You don't want to just show angle to sap, right? You want to force him to fire the lower damage shell, which would be high explosive. You want to force his torpedoes to take the longest time to actually hit you. So you want to sail away from him. Just as the Ohio. The only thing that the Ohio did wrong was he changed his direction too much. He should have just sailed in one direction. But you can see just how chunky this is, and so satisfying, and so fun, and so, you know, Italian. And I'm so happy that the line itself feels this good, because the gameplay speaks and looks for itself. It is really satisfying to catch those guys out, take them down, you know, have an escape if you've overcommitted, and really only have to worry about the same thing that everyone has to worry about: radar and hydroacoustic in really bad spots. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. You can subscribe to my channel. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you for enjoying it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.